My fiancée said she won't marry me unless I add her name to the house deed. That's the sentence that shattered everything I thought was real. She said it so casually, like it was just another step in our wedding plans. But to me, it sounded like a transaction, not a promise, not love. I didn't argue. I just nodded, while every part of me went cold. That night, I realized maybe she wasn't planning a marriage. She was planning an investment. When I met Claire, I was rebuilding my life from scratch. After years of struggling to pay off my late father's debts, I'd finally bought a small home. Nothing fancy, but it was mine. Claire entered my life like sunlight after a storm. Charming, ambitious, and full of dreams. She said she admired my drive, my stability. For a while, everything felt perfect. We planned our wedding, picked colors, talked about kids. She told me I made her feel safe, but safety, I later learned, wasn't about love. It was about ownership. She started asking questions like, so technically, this house will be ours after the wedding, right? I laughed it off then. But soon, her tone changed. When I mentioned the prenup my lawyer suggested, her face hardened. That's when the warmth began to fade, and the real Claire started to show. A week before our engagement party, she dropped at her condition. I just want security, she said. Add my name to the deed, and I'll feel safe moving forward. I stared at her. Claire, we're not even married yet. She crossed her arms, calm but cold. If you trust me, why does it matter? That's the thing about manipulation. It hides behind reason. I didn't yell. I didn't accuse. But in that moment, something inside me died. Because love shouldn't come with paperwork before vows. That night, I sat in our living room, looking at the walls I'd built brick by brick, every hour of overtime, every sacrifice, every sleepless night, and I realized she wasn't trying to build a life with me. She was trying to secure one from me. That's when I stopped planning a wedding and started planning my exit. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Instead, I played along calm, smiling, pretending nothing was wrong. She thought she had time. She didn't. In silence, I made moves. I met with my lawyer, changed a few clauses in the property title, and froze joint accounts she didn't know were still under my name. Then, I focused on myself, the part of me that had been buried under her expectations. I worked harder, expanded my business, and began saving again. Not for a wedding, but for peace. Meanwhile, Claire bragged to her friends about our house. She even started redecorating, picking furniture, colors, talking about our future. Every time she said our, I smiled, knowing it wasn't true anymore. The silence became my power. She thought I was weak for not arguing, but I was just waiting for her mask to fall. And when it did, I wanted to be ready, calm, steady, and in control. The fall came fast. 2 days before our engagement party, she showed up with a folder of legal papers. It's just a formality, she said sweetly. My cousin's a notary, we can get it done today. I opened the folder. It was a transfer deed, half ownership of my house. I looked up and smiled. You really went all out for this, didn't you? She blinked. What do you mean? I said, placing the folder down, that it's interesting you'd bring me this, when I already filed a deed transfer last week. Her eyes widened. You what? Yeah, I said, calmly sipping my coffee. Except it wasn't to add your name. It was to ensure no one can claim what they didn't earn. Her voice cracked. You're seriously doing this right before our party? No, I said quietly. You did this the moment you put a price on my trust. She stormed out that day, calling me selfish, paranoid, cruel. But a few months later, I heard through mutual friends that she'd tried the same thing with someone else. Only this time, the guy wasn't as forgiving. She walked away with nothing but gossip following her name. I canceled the engagement, sold the house, and bought a new one, smaller, quieter, with no ghosts in the walls. Claire tried to reach out a few times, apologizing, saying she wasn't thinking straight. I never replied. I didn't need revenge. The truth had done the work for me. Her greed burned everything she could have had, and my silence made sure she felt it. I rebuilt my life in peace, knowing she'd always remember me, not as the man she fooled, but as the one who walked away before the fire spread. She wanted my house, but she lost her home, the kind that can't be written on paper. Some lessons don't need contracts, just consequences.